Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, and today I'm going to bring you along on the unboxing and setup of the Reekon M1. There you go. This is a fairly simple little device to set up and will save you lots of time, in my opinion, if you're cutting mini boards on the miter saw. So let's get with it and unbox this and show you the setup. Once you open the box, there's a card in there that you can follow and go to the Reekon website to check their instructions, but that's what we're going to do today. So the other thing that's in there is this nice little box here. It's all molded to the M1, and in that box you have the actual M1, and they send you a decal, and nicely tucked away are some setup instructions. The setup part on this, as far as before we mount it on the miter saw, is just basically taking this thumb screw out here and putting the two AA batteries that are required for this. And as you can see, I'll get it close up. Hopefully that camera will zoom in. Right here and here, it gives you the orientation of the batteries. Takes two AA's, simply put the batteries in there like so. Put the cover plate back on, hold it with one thumb, and screw in with the other one. We're gonna get the camera switched around and get it put on the miter saw. So the installation's pretty simple. You have this back rubber piece that is gonna go against your fence here, right? And you'll clamp down on this, and you gotta push, and this will latch in, okay? And when you wanna release it, you need to push down here, and with your finger, just pop that out, okay? On this Dewalt here, there's a back brace that comes up in an angle that you gotta kinda stagger it a little bit, and just put it on there like so, and it clamps in. Next thing you want to do is release the wheel. Next thing is you want to hit the 0 and unit button, hold them down, and hit the power button with your forefinger. All right, so we're gonna hold and press these down and hit it once, and you'll enter into the calibration mode. You want to have a straight piece of lumber that's at least 8 foot long, and you want to go ahead and slide this up underneath the wheel here, like so. And the next step that you want to do is you want to bring this board in and get it to where the blade is right at the edge here. I'll lift the guard so y'all can see. We want to just get it right on the edge. Make sure it's up against the fence, and you're going to make that cut. Okay, once that cut is made, you come here and you hit 0. So now that tells it that we're zeroed out against the blade. Now that you've made this cut, we're going to take a tape measure and we're going to measure out with a real fine tip pencil and measure out 6 foot or 72 inches. And you're going to make yourself a mark. What we'll do now is we'll slide this in, making sure that your lumber keeps contact with the fence at all time. And we're going to bring this up to that mark that I made. And what you're going to do is take the left side of this blade and put it in line with that mark, or next to that mark. So there's my mark, and there's the blade. And once you get that accomplished, then you come back here and you hit the 0 mark, and that finishes it out. So that's 72 inches. So now it's calibrated to the saw. Once you do the calibration as the first step, then you got to come back and you got to set the kerf of the blade. So in order to do that, you need to put the leg in the upright position, in the stowaway position, power your unit on, and then the units button, you're going to press and hold till you see blade on the screen. Now release it and you're in the blade position. So we got an 1/8 inch kerf, so we put the 1/8 inch in there, and you do this by rotating counterclockwise basically till you get to the desired measurement. Then you hit the 0 button and your kerf is set. Now, I powered the unit back down. I went ahead and released the leg, power the device back on, and you'll have a display of an 1/8 inch on there already because you set the kerf of your blade. And the next step, you want to bring your material back in, and you have 2 options. So basically, after you make your first cut, you'll have a 0 position every time. And the way this works is you have to hit 0 after every cut. So everything to the right of the blade will be the exact amount of what you want your length of your material to be. So to initially start off, you have 2 choices. You could come in and you can just make sure you kiss the blade a little bit, or you can just bring it in ever so slightly and do a cut. And what you're doing there is just getting that blade getting the piece of material at the 0 position, and you want to hit 0. And you'll still see the 1/8 inch, which is the kerf of your blade, on the display because you set that in there so it compensates. Because if you remember, when we did the calibration, the blade was on this side of the mark, which means if you were to make that cut, you would actually be short because you didn't compensate in the calibration for the kerf. So now what we went back in this step is we set the kerf of the blade. So now the device is going to compensate for it. So now that I've hit 0, let's just, for instance, go in and let's do 10 inches. So there's 10 inches. Do a mark. Now the blade is on this side of the mark, which is now giving us the full 10 inches because we inputted the kerf of the blade. Let's go ahead and make that cut and let's measure it. Okay. Right on the money. So after every cut, and you're gonna do multiple 10-inch pieces like so, after every cut, you just hit the 0 button here, run your material through to the 10-inch mark. Once a 10-inch display's on there, cut, hit 0, push through, cut, hit 0. You have to hit 0 every time so it references this point. I hope this helps you out. I think this is going to be a very useful device in here since we're still building out my shop and I'll have to do repetitious cuts. It's going to save time from having to measure each one or trying to set up a stop block, which on this mobile stand you can do it, but this is a pretty cool device to have. Anyhow, hopefully you enjoyed this. Please remember to like the video and comment and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye now.